Hi everyone, welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kay Kaltoff and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to share with you this card. And you can see there's a lot of fall leaves in this card, and even behind the fall leaves you'll notice that the birch trees are scattered here in the background. That's from our Woodland embossing folder. I'm going to show you how to create this card, and I do want to give credit to my downline, Josie Snyder, who developed this idea, and then I just went ahead and run with it. I absolutely love this idea of stamping on the reverse side of the embossed image. So you're actually stamping on the debossed side. So here is what we're going to do to get started with. We are going to start with two pieces of 4 by 5 1/4 inch very vanilla panels. One panel is going to go on the inside, one panel is going to go on the outside. So the outside panel is the one that we're going to emboss and stamp. So I went ahead and I did emboss this panel in advance to save us a little time. I used the Woodland embossing folder on my Big Shot machine, and this is what it looks like. You can see that there's the embossed birch trees here in the background, and then on the other side, this is the debossed side. So the debossed side, where the birch trees sort of seem to go into the paper, that's the side that you're going to stamp on. So let me grab some scrap paper. The stamp set that we're using today is called Sheltering Tree, and it looks like this. It actually debuted in the Occasions 2015 catalog and was wildly popular, and so Stampin' Up! Went ahead and put it in their annual catalog. We're going to use two colors of inks today. One is Tangerine Tango, and the other ink that we're using is Hello Honey. Now I happen to have two Sheltering Tree stamp sets, so I have two of the leaf shapes here that would make the leaves on the tree, but we're just going to use them today on this this card. So we'll start by going ahead and inking up the yellow, the Hello Honey. And when you do this, you want to make sure not to press too hard. So I'm just going to very lightly press over the top, and then I'll do this all through where I want my image to be. And you can see how the trees are kind of showing up a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Tangerine Tango, and we're just going to go ahead and fill in these areas with this bright orange. So again, I'm not pressing very hard at all because I don't want to press too hard into the trunks of the trees. So I'm just kind of setting it over the top of the paper and then just lightly letting the ink soak in, just like that. And then of course you can see the outline of the birch in the background, which looks really neat. So there we go. We have our card completely stamped. I'll bring it up and you can see the birch trees out in the background, and then of course all the leaves. And so now what we're going to do is finish off the card. So I have a couple of things that we're going to do to make this card look really pretty, just to bring it to life. The first thing is I have these 1-inch paper strips that look like this. Doesn't really matter what size you have. These just happen to be 4 inches long, but you want them to be 1 inch wide. What we're going to do is we're going to take the triple banner punch, and it makes, the reason it's called a triple banner punch is it makes 3 sizes of banners. You can make a 1-inch size, or a 1.5 inch size, or a 2-inch size, and it's just gradiated sizes on your banner punch. So since this is all 1-inch size, we're just going to insert these 1-inch strips into our banner punch and press down. And it makes these really great banner ends without any work. I mean, it's just very, very simple. I really like this. So now we're going to set that aside, and we're going to bring our glue into the picture. And I'm just going to add some glue in a fairly heavy line, and we're going to set this right alongside the edge of this card, just like so. And then we're going to take the next one and again add some glue up here, and we're going to set this just down a little bit. And then of course the last one, the same thing. And of course you'll probably figure this out real quickly here, but I'm just going to take a scissors and trim all of these ends even with the bottom edge of our card. There's a little bit of glue here, but that's okay. Let me get this out of the way. Let me grab a Kleenex and I'll clean up my gluey mess. And now I think I'm ready to work again. So now the next step is to go ahead and we're going to put a wrap on here, and I'm going to use our gold baker's twine. So I have that right here, and I'm just going to tie it around into a simple knot. So we're just going to bring this around and tie it off in a knot. Doesn't really matter where the knot is at this point because we can always move it around where we want it later. So there we go. Let me grab my ribbon scissors here because I know it's nice and sharp. And now we'll just move this over to the left side so that it is lined up here where we don't have a banner. I'm going to bring this up a little bit, and then let me go ahead and trim this up just another hair. And there we go. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some decoration. I have Into the Woods elements. This is one of the wooden elements from Into the Woods. You also have some leaves and some acorns. But I chose this design because I wanted to accent the banner. And I just have a couple of glue dots on the back. So we'll put that right there. And then the other thing I want to add to the bottom panel of this card is the thanks. And this is an Expressions Natural Elements that you can find in our regular catalog. And again, I just have some glue dots on the back. I'm going to set this along here, along the bottom. And then we'll give it a nice little press when it's right where we want it. And it looks good. Now, to secure this ribbon so it doesn't move around a lot, we're just going to take a little bit of Scotch tape around the back side and just make sure that ribbon stays in place. Now we can bring our main base panel into the picture. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and it's in Delightful Dijon, one of our 2015-17 in colors. And then we can go ahead, add a couple of dimensionals to the back. And I've added 4 dimensionals to the back, and we're just going to center this onto our front panel. And now to finish off the card, we're going to put an inside panel in, and I did take the liberty of stamping this. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and I just stamped some of the leaves on the bottom to look a little bit like some colorful bushes in fall. And so we'll just take a little bit of snail and secure that into the inside panel of our card. And our card is complete. Here is the card we've just completed, and here is the card I did earlier. Thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. I truly appreciate you. If you need a demonstrator, don't hesitate to drop by my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com, and I have links there where you can place orders. Have a great day. Bye-bye.